Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to learn a software configuration management of software engineering. Before starting with the lecture, let me introduce myself. I am Professor Poonam Mahale working in IT department of Kekewak College of Engineering, Education and Research. So let's start today's lecture with the definition of software configuration management. Software configuration management is a set of activities that are used for managing the change during the life cycle of the computer software. Basically, it is a systematic approach to manage, organize, and control the modification in the documents, codes, and other entities during the software development lifecycle. Why there is a need of change? During the process, change takes place, which may be unfortunate, but change can occur any time and for any undefined reason. The change is the only constant thing. So, the first law of system engineering says that no matter where you are in the system life cycle, the system will change and the desire to change it will persist throughout the life cycle. So, there are basic reason for the system changes or there are four basic sources of change. What are that? First is every new business condition and market condition may cause a change. Second is customer may require a change in a data presented by the information system. Third is as the business grows or its downsizing may cause the changes in the priorities of the project. Fourth reason is the budget and the time scheduling constraint also important factor for the change in the product. So that's why SCM is used for managing the change during the project life cycle. Now we'll see the elements of SCM. Basically, SCM can also be considered as a software quality assurance activity during the life development process. So, four basic elements that should exist when a configuration management system is developed. What are that? We'll see that. First is nothing but an component element. Component element, the tools in the file management system uses software configuration items and that is called as an component element. Next is nothing but an process element. The process elements or the procedures uses effective approach towards the change management in engineering and use computer software. Third element is nothing but an construction element. The automated tools are used in the construction or in the development process and ensuring the validated component should be assembled. Next is nothing but an human element. In order to make the effective use of SCM, the team makes the use of various tools and process features. So human element plays an important role in the SCM. These elements are mutually exclusive. For example, component elements work in a conjunction with a construction element as the software process evolves. The process element guide many human activities that are related to SCM and might therefore be considered as an human element as well. So these are the four basic elements of SCM. Now we'll see the SCM repository. Basically, SCM repository is a set of mechanism and data structure that allow a software team to manage change in an effective manner. So, for managing the change in an effective manner, SCM plays an important role. Before that, there are certain terms that we are going to use in the SCM repository. That is nothing but a baseline or software configuration items. Basically, SCI, that is software configuration item, is an integral part of software engineering development process. It is a part of large specification, or we can say that one test case among a large suite of test cases. The baseline is a SCM that help in developing process without affecting much the schedule and the control of the changes. So SCM and SCI, that is software configuration item, is a document or the program component which is playing important role in SCM repository. So we'll see the role of SCM repository. The repository will perform all the fundamental operations of a database management system, and in addition it will perform certain operation like data integrity. It also perform information sharing, it also perform tool integration, and it also performs the document standardization, and lastly it also performs operation like methodology information enforcement. So data integrity validates all the entries to the repository and make sure that consistency among various objects. Then next is information sharing. It is a mechanism for sharing information among various developers and between various tools. Tool integration is a data model that can be used many software engineering tools to control the access of data and performs appropriate configuration management function. Then next is nothing but an document standardization is an important task for defining the object. Last is nothing but an methodology enforcement defines a ER model, that is entity relationship model, available in the database, that is in the repository. This model may be used as a process model for software engineering. Now we'll see the features of SCM. To support SCM, the repository must have a toolset that provide support for the following features. So that features are nothing but an versioning. Versioning in the development process, as the project progress, various versions of the product will be developed and the database will save all these versions. The repository will keep track of all these versions in order to make effective management of the product delivery. The history of all releases will be used by the developers to make effective testing and debugging. Next is nothing but an dependency tracking and the change management. Mm, The database or the repository stores various relationships among the configuration objects. The relationship may be between entities and processes, or between application design and component design, and between all design elements. So some relationships are optional and some of the relationships are mandatory relationships that have various dependencies. So to keep a track of various history and relationship is very important, and it is achieved with the help of dependency tracking and change management. Next is nothing but an requirement tracing. Requirement tracing will provide the ability to trace all the design components and release. This tracing results from the specific requirement called as an forward tracing. It will also useful in the finding that which requirements are fulfilled properly from the ready product, and this is called as an backward tracing. So requirement tracing helps us to identify and track the requirements. Next is nothing but an configuration management. Configuration management is a facility to keep a track of various configurations under development. The series of configuration is used as the project milestone and the future release. So configuration management helps us to keep a track of various configurations that are under development. Last feature is nothing but an audit trails. Basically, audit trails keeps additional information, that is metadata, like the changes made by whom and when. It also stores the reason why the changes have been made. So the source of each change in the development must be stored in the repository, and it is possible with the help of audit trails. So these all are the SCM features. Now we'll see the SCM process. SCM process includes the SCM items, that is software configuration items. Basically the SCM, that is software configuration process, consists of series of tasks to monitor and control on changes being occurred. The main objective of the task are to identify all individual items that can define software configuration collectively, to manage the changes taking place in the various individual items. How an organization keeps the track and control of new release, how the organization keeps the track of the changes. These questions lead us to the definition of 5 SCM tasks. So that tasks are nothing but an identification, version control and change control, configuration auditing and reporting. So we will see that task in detail. So identification of object in the software configuration management. To control and manage software configuration items, each should be separately named and then organized using an object-oriented approach. Next is nothing but an change control. After that, SCM process is having a task is nothing but an version control. After that, a configuration audit is performed, and lastly is nothing but an status reporting is carried out. So we will see one by one each task in detail. Identification of an object in the HCI. So to control and manage software configuration item, it should be separately named as I already told. So two types of objects can be identified, basic objects and the aggregate object. So a basic object is a unit of information that has been created by a software engineering during analysis, design, code and during the test. Next comes is nothing but an aggregate object. An aggregate object is a collection of basic object and other aggregate object. So since each of the object in the product has some distinct feature that makes the object different from other object. So the object has a unique name, description and the list of resources associated with it. So the name of the object should be very clear and distinct. The description of an object should identify the type of software configuration item and that is SCI and it is represented by the object. So this is how object is identified. Next is nothing but an version control. The version control actually controls the new releases or the new versions. It combines the procedures and tools in order to control various versions of configuration objects. Any version control management system has four capabilities that is integrated in the version control system, and that is nothing but and the repository will store all the related object. Then the repository will store all the versions of a configuration object. It has a facility to provide the related information about configuration object so that a software engineer will construct a new version based on this information. And lastly, to track all the issues in the development process by using a special tracking facility in the version control. So version control actually controls the new release or the new versions. Next is nothing but an change control. In the development of a larger software system, the change may be uncontrolled and it leads a complex situation. In the project, change control is done partially by human and partially by automated tools. So change control process is explained by considering this diagram. Here first, the need for the change is recognized. Then the change request from the user is considered. So user sends a change request. Developer evaluates that change request. After that, developer after evaluation of developer report, the change report is generated. Change control authority decides based on the change report. Change control authority decide whether to approve request or whether to denied request. So based on the result of evaluation as it treated as a change report. Again, the approval from CCA, that is Change Control Authority, a change order is issued and that is nothing but an ECO. ECO is nothing but an engineering change order. So if the request is approved, then ECO, that is engineering change order, is generated by the CCA, that is Change Control Authority. Then the object to be changed can be placed in the directory that is controlled solely by the software engineer for making the change. The, this version control mechanism integrated with the change control process implements two important elements of a change management, that is access control and the synchronization control. After that, the changes before making the changes, a checkout configuration items are considered and the change is made. After making the changes, the review is carried out by the authority members and the technical expert. Whatever changes is made from the developer, that changes are reviewed by the technical experts. Then we check in the configuration items that changes have been made. Then we establish a baseline for a testing. We perform quality assurance and testing activities. Then Once quality assurance and testing activities are completed, we promote changes for inclusion in the next release. We rebuild appropriate version of the software. Again, we review the changes to all configuration item. We include the changes in the new version, and then once the final product is released, the formal changes must be initiated as per the figure. So this is an figure which shows how the changes are accommodated. Basically, the CCA, that is Change Control Authority, plays an active role in the second and third layer of the change control based on the size of the product. After everything is performed, we distribute the new version to all the members. This is only possible if the request of change is approved by Change Control Authority. If it is denied, then we inform user about the denial of the change control request. So this is how the change control is carried out. Again, the next phase, which is nothing but an, we have already told, is nothing but an configuration audit. In the configuration audit addresses some important questions like whether the change mentioned in the ECO is applied or not, whether the formal technical review is conducted or not, and whether the software process followed or not in the engineering standard. So these are the certain changes, these are the certain questions that are addressed in the configuration audit. Whereas in the status reporting, configuration status reporting is a SCM task that again answers some questions like what had happened, specify the changes made, that means whatever changes we have completed or made that we need to report. Who did it? That means specify the responsible person or authority for approving the changes. When did happen? Specify the time of occurrence of a change. So the status reporting, the CSR change status report is generated on the regular basis to keep the developers aware of the changes made and the history of the changes made. It is a very useful in the new release for constructing the new version. So status reporting plays an important role for generating regular reports. So this is how we have learned the software configuration management system in detail. Hope you all have understood the SCM process, which includes the identification of an object. After that, we have seen the version control, then we have seen the change control and the configuration audit, along with that status reporting. So thank you. If you have any doubt, you can write your comments, you can write your questions in the comment box. If you have any suggestions are also welcome. So hope you enjoyed the learning. Thank you.